रेजिस्टेंट भी, टर्माइट एंड बोरो रेजिस्टेंट भी है। यानी ये है जहां नो टेंशन वहां।
प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवुड।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल।
ये रंग दे,
ये खुशबू दे,
ये तीखा,
ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
अरे टेंशन किस बात की। सेंचुरी प्रोवुड का प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, लो एमिशन है, हाई डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी, टर्माइट एंड बोरो रेजिस्टेंट भी है। यानी ये है जहां नो टेंशन वहां।
प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवुड।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
You're playing safe, Blue Machines. I've never played safe all my life. I don't think on issues concerning the country you are allowed to say it depends. You are not allowed.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Well, welcome back. When the most fearless anchor of our times takes on the most advanced technology of our age, the result isn't a debate, it's a challenge. Republic Media Network's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami has confronted power in every form. Governments, institutions, systems that believed they were beyond questioning or beyond reproach. Tonight, he confronts a power with no face and no emotion. Artificial intelligence. There are no scripts guiding this encounter, no filters shaping responses, just raw intellect on one side and machine logic on the other, tested minute by minute, answer by answer, and it's completely unedited. This is the debate of tomorrow. happening today. And it will tell us a lot about where technology stands when faced with human scrutiny. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI, tonight at 9 p.m. only on Republic. All right, with that we go live to pictures coming in from Ahmedabad, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is taking German Chancellor Friedrich Merz around the Sabarmati riverfront. These are pictures from earlier of the Sabarmati ashram of Mahatma Gandhi, and now the two leaders are at the riverfront at the Kite Festival, the International Kite Festival of Ahmedabad, which is an annual feature. And now the two leaders are soaking in some moments of cultural life of Gujarat. And this is what Prime Minister does with most visiting dignitaries. He takes them out of New Delhi in a little informal setting where a cultural dip-in can also happen, as it is happening in this case in Ahmedabad. Not the first time that a leader is coming to Ahmedabad, Prime Minister's home turf, remember. And from Donald Trump to Shinzo Abe, the late Shinzo Abe, from Boris Johnson to Xi Jinping, they all have come to Ahmedabad. Other leaders have traveled to other destinations. Prime Minister has hosted them in places as far as Mamallapuram in Tamil Nadu or Goa. And then, of course, Kashi, a constituency he represents, or Varanasi, he represents in Parliament. Let's go back to the Nats.
Our esteemed dignitaries. You can see on both the sides the culture of our nation. Kuchipudi, Bharatnatyam, the acrobats of Malkham, the masks of India, from Ladakh, from South, Kathakali, and the human mask. They are welcoming you. Beda of Patan, Gujarat. खूब खूब स्वागत છે માનનીય પ્રધાનમંત્રી શ્રી નરેન્દ્ર મોદી સાહેબનું સાથે ખૂબ ખૂબ સ્વાગત કરીએ છીએ. Mr. Friedrich Merz, willkommen. Herzlich willkommen, Herr Bundeskanzler. This is a symphony, grand symphony with 108 musicians. With various musical instruments. They are here to welcome you. Honorable Chancellor.
Prime Minister there, I believe he's speaking to somebody. He's checking on what's lined up. He's showcasing, and it's just not about Gujarat, by the way. The cultural troops are from across the country, and some international troops as well, because remember, this is Ahmedabad International Kite Flying Festival annual fixture at Sabarmati riverfront. Beautiful pictures there of the German leader being serenaded by Prime Minister Modi. A crowd present there, a cultural show also lined up, and the Prime Minister explaining the nuances.
The rhythmic beat of tabla, pakhwaj and dhola. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you, sir. Herzlich willkommen. The Grand Symphony. Thank you for gracing this wonderful event. It is indeed our pleasure to welcome our honorable dignitaries in this occasion of International Kite Festival 2026. International friendship between India and Germany, a deep harmony and soaring skies depicting celebration cultures, finding a common rhythm on the banks of the Sabarmati. We welcome Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel sir, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. We welcome willkommen to all the delegation of Germany. It's indeed a pleasure to have you over here. ખૂબ સ્વાગત કરીએ છીએ માનનીય મુખ્યમંત્રી સાહેબનું. સાથે સ્વાગત છે માનનીય નાયબ મુખ્યમંત્રી સાહેબનું. વિશિષ્ટ ક્ષણ સાબરમતીના કાંઠે આજે જ્યારે આટલા વિશેષ મહાનુભાવો પધાર્યા છે. Once again, it's wonderful to have the wonderful guests from Germany. More than 1,000 kite flyers from 50 countries, 13 Indian states and across Gujarat fill the horizon. The color blast of India and Germany, the friendship. Beautiful. Today the skies of Ahmedabad on the river Sabarmati are filled with wonderful colors, welcoming our dignitaries who have graced this wonderful event.
Okay, now the kite flying time it seems, because the two leaders have donned their glares. Okay, so the two leaders now, they have put on their glares, a kite handed over to them, a string in fact with many kites there. That's typical of that festival, the Gujarat International Kite Flying Festival. Every bit of that, what we have seen in the last few minutes is all what Modi had done as Chief Minister of Gujarat, institutionalized these things, this kite flying festival, and before that, the riverfront that he was showing, or rather showcasing to the German Chancellor. Ahmedabad riverfront is something which was a brainchild of the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi. He has this sense of ownership and pride that he made that possible in Ahmedabad. It's a showcase infrastructure and development project for the rest of the country. Many other cities have sort of replicated in bits and pieces the Sabarmati riverfront of Ahmedabad in their own cities. Many governments have done that. And Prime Minister now putting on the glares along with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, flying the kite, handed over to them in that picture that we saw. And Sorali is with us. Sorali, festive moments coming out of Sabarmati riverfront. How long are the two leaders going to be there, and what's next on the agenda?
Yes, that's true. We are watching on our screens beautiful visuals wherein Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they have been handed the kite and they're flying the kite right now. As we can see on our TV screens, let me tell you, after they visited Sabarmati Ashram and they spent some time there understanding the philosophy of Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi, the spot which has become very, very important in the Indian history of independence. Now they have come down to International Kite Flying Festival 2026 at Sabarmati River in Ahmedabad. And this is not the first time that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is hosting international guests or leaders at his home turf. Now this time it's German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, and as we can see, after all the cultural performances initiated, and this is our way, Indian way, to showcase or introduce guests to the entire diversity of art, culture and civilization that India has. After all the performances have initiated, now we can see on our visuals on our screen that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz are on a round, and the kite has been handed over to them to experience the culture and the festivities. As we know that it's festivities, festival time in Gujarat, we call it as Uttarayan, wherein the entire skies are filled with beautiful kites, and those are the exact visuals we can see on our screens right now. Post which they'll be heading to Mahatma Mandir in Gandhinagar, wherein the bilateral engagements will take place, which will be focused on trade, education and defense. So it's very important right now at this point. German chose India as the first country, Chancellor's its first bilateral visit to India after they have come out of the European Union and NATO. So this can become a very, very important. Also on the other hand, 25 years of strategic partnership will be reviewed in order to enhance ties. Now, trade and defense are very important. As per the information we are gathering in right now, trade and defense will be focused. So there's a possibility that major deals, major agreements can be signed. German, it's a major economy after coming out of the Union. On the other hand, India is a rising economy. So major treaties, agreements and deals can be on board. We are continuously tracking the entire story very minutely. Back to you.
Well, Sorali keeps getting us top updates coming in, live pictures from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And let's shift our focus, because next is India's thrusting rocket. The Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle is poised for a dramatic comeback after last year's setback. The Indian Space Research Organization is set to launch its 64th PSLV mission, marking a critical moment for India's space program and signaling the rise of the country's private space ecosystem. The mission is a liftoff, and you can see it's all ready to lift off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. Anytime now that's going to happen. This flight will carry a total of 15 satellites, including a highly classified surveillance satellite named Anvesha, developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. And the Anvesha satellite is designed to provide cutting-edge imaging capabilities, enabling India to map enemy positions with pinpoint accuracy. So we're cutting down to that big event. Shardha is joining us live. Shardha, I'm coming across to you right now. So the countdown has begun. India will be launching the mighty DRDO satellite to space. How much more time is left, Shardha?
Well, in 30 seconds, the PSLV 62 US N1 along with 15 co-passengers satellite will be lifting off right from the Sriharikota base from the first launch pad. This particular satellite is called the Sky, Eye in the Sky basically, which is going to be an observant satellite not just for the weather technology but also a major development in the defense system of India. It's powered by the DRDO. This particular satellite is costing very high because it's going to have a huge expense because the library saving for this particular satellite is huge, along with 15 co-passengers that also includes from the Dhruva Space Center and Orbit and other satellites that are personalized from UK. Especially this particular satellite is going to be used in the military sector. It's not just for destruction, but it's going to be acting as a savior for us. Especially this satellite is not just for communication, but to make sure that the landscapes is tracked in a very detailed manner, including the very basic question as to where you can cross the river is what the satellite is known for. This particular system has the HRS hyper system, and then this particular satellite will make sure that India's defense is
Char ground station is tracking presently for 70 seconds after a lift of the S1.
Main auto. Both strap-ons separated.
There's a confirmation from the Range Operations Director that the strap-on motors have been separated from the ongoing launch vehicle. However, the core S139 motor continues to burn and develop thrust.
Right, so lift off.
दोनों स्ट्रैप-ऑन बूस्टर को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा कोर बूस्टर अभी भी प्रज्वलित है.
Shah station continues to track and Trivandrum station beginning to acquire trajectory data.
इस दौरान कोर बूस्टर 4800 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है और यान का दिशा निर्धारण करते हुए उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर जा रहा है.
Separated, second stage ignited. +2 minutes.
प्रथम चरण को यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा द्वितीय चरण प्रज्वलित हो चुका है.
The first stage has completed its operation. The relative velocity at this time is 1.7 kilometers per second. Current altitude is 93 kilometers.
द्वितीय चरण विकास इंजन का प्रयोग करते हुए तथा ईंधन के रूप में US-25 तथा N2O4 का इस्तेमाल करता है और वर्तमान में यह 800 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है.
151 second burn time for the PS2 stage for the present mission.
Payload fairing separated.
अभियान की ऊंचाई 123 किलोमीटर हो चुकी है. अब यह घने वातावरण से बाहर जा चुका है, इसलिए यान से ऊष्मा कवच को पृथक कर दिया गया है. द्वितीय चरण अभी भी प्रज्वलित है.
Two major flight events upon clearing the dense
atmosphere. Second stage performance normal.
The payload fairing has been jettisoned and closed loop guidance is initiated and PS2 continues to develop thrust.
यहाँ द्वितीय चरण इंजन जिम्बल की मदद से अपना दिशा निर्धारण करता है और उद्दिष्ट पथ की ओर यान को दिशा देता हुआ अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण कर रहा है। द्वितीय चरण का निष्पादन पूरी तरह सामान्य। अब यान की ऊंचाई 265 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 3 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड हो चुकी है।
The PS2 was powered by the Vikas engine, which develops 800 kilonewtons thrust. The trajectory of the vehicle closely follows the expected trajectory.
Second stage separated, third stage ignited.
यहाँ इसकी पुष्टि हो चुकी है रेंज ऑपरेशन डायरेक्टर द्वारा। द्वितीय चरण को सफलतापूर्वक यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है
परफॉर्मेंस नॉर्मल
तथा तृतीय चरण का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है और वह सामान्य निष्पादन कर रहा है।
We are 4 minutes 45 seconds past the liftoff. The third stage of PSLV, the PS3, the solid propellant stage, has commenced its operation. Rocket is at 250 kilometers altitude.
तृतीय चरण का कार्यकाल लगभग 150 सेकंड का होगा। यह ठोस नोदक पर आधारित चरण है।
third stage performance normal
For the present mission, PS3 stage will burn for 125 seconds.
यह मिशन पोलर ऑर्बिट के लिए है। इसमें सभी उपग्रह सूर्य समकाली कक्षा में भेजे जा रहे हैं जो कि भूप्रेक्षण के लिए सर्वथा अनुकूल होता है। दक्षिणी दिशा की ओर यह प्रमोशन होने की वजह से प्रथम कक्षा में महत्वपूर्ण कार्रवाई के लिए मॉनिटरिंग के लिए शार, त्रिवेंद्रम, मॉरिशस और अंटार्कटिका स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशन हम तक यान के आंकड़े उपलब्ध करा रहे हैं।
third stage burnout vehicle in combined coast phase
तृतीय चरण का कार्यकाल समाप्त हो चुका है तथा यान कोस्ट फेज की ओर अग्रसर है। अब कोस्ट फेज है जहां कोई भी प्रज्वलन नहीं हो रहा है। यान पूर्व प्राप्त संवेग से आगे बढ़ रहा है।
A very, very important aspect when we talk to the kind of leaps that India is making when it comes to space development. I think we have a guest joining us live. Let's go to a guest who's joining us. We have with us S. Venkateshwara Sharma, former ISRO Deputy Director, live with us, joining us. And thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. This is a very big event, the Anvesha satellite. Anvesha is a hyperspectral satellite developed by the DRDO. And, these are some technical words which I'm using, Mr. Sharma. If you can help our viewers understand what the satellite is all about and how it really helps push collaboration between ISRO and the DRDO.
Good morning to you and the million viewers of Republic. It is extremely happy, and it's a good day for the country and in large, and ISRO in particular. This is the first launch for 2026. Look, we have three big takeaways from this particular launch. We must necessarily see this. And of course, the first one, the foremost one, is the Anvesha satellite. This satellite, Anvesha, was jointly built by DRDO and ISRO, where ISRO made the what we call it as a bus system, where power, electronics, controls, sensors, actuators, everything is assembled, and along with the solar panels as a bus system. And the payload was designed, developed, and tested by the DRDO as a joint collaboration. Of course, wherever the help was required in terms of helping them, DRDO test, etc., was done by ISRO. This is one major milestone. And continuing with Anvesha, this satellite is very unique satellite. There are several satellites in orbit which are optical satellites, which are mainly for day imaging satellites. But this particular satellite is different from the the optical imaging, where optical imaging is restricted to VIB-GAIA type of spectrum. But this also can have the extended bandwidth of the imaging, where infrared and ultraviolet, etc., are also coming into picture. The biggest advantage is that the resolution at which it can see, and also the detailing at which it can see. What eyes cannot see, this can see. And this has a very big advantage in terms of the strategic sector, where movement of the tanks, etc., where the soil condition, whether the soil is loose, or maneuvering the tanks in the area, what we call it as the mapping for movement of the tanks in the safer area, so that the tanks doesn't get stuck, etc. And also, if the tanks have to cross the river, then the conditions of the river, the depth of the water, and then the condition of the soil below the thing, and the safety and security of the movement of the strategic activities in the sea as well as the land is important. And also, this can also detect many hidden things in the forest or also in the desert, etc. We say, for example, if a landmine is planted, it can easily detect and ensure that the path is avoided by the strategic moving artilleries, etc. So this is one major thing for the strategic sector. As far as the non-strategic sector is concerned, civilian sector is extremely important from the point of view of the disaster management, where it can study the soil conditions, and also it can study the various changes happening on the Earth's surface, which is going to help really very well. And this Anvesha satellite is going to be one of the wanted satellite, hyperspectral satellite, which is required for the country from both civilian as well as the strategic sector. This is the first takeaway. Second takeaway is the 14 other satellites which are going to be launched by this rocket, that C-62. It is the 64th PSLV launch vehicle, and the one satellite is from UK, SSTL UK, and 5 satellites are from Dhruva Aerospace, a startup company. Please look at the way the startups are coming out with satellites which are going to help manage the resources in the country. And the remaining out of remaining satellites, 5 are from Brazilian satellites as a commercial basis. One satellite is from Lakshman Gnanpith, which is going to demonstrate the refueling, another important activity done by a startup satellite. And in all, 14 plus 1, 15 satellite for commercial is another big takeaway from this launch. Third and most important is also the PSLV vehicle itself, which is the 64th launch, and C-62 is the 64th launch vehicle. And this launch vehicle, PSLV, the workhorse, is being completely fabricated, tested, and made launch ready by the private agencies, public sector and the private agencies like HAL, L&T, in consortium with other industries. And this is very big requirement in terms of Atmanirbharta also. If you see in all the 3 big takeaways are a big step forward towards Atmanirbharta, from the point of view that 2047, Honorable Prime Minister has announced that it is going to be, we should have self-sufficiency. Of course, this is going to be one of the very big requirement in terms of achieving self-sufficiency in the launch vehicle, satellite, and the related activities. And this is one very big step forward. And we look forward continuously to ensure that more satellite of Anvesha. This is one of the series that is going to be launched, and more satellites are going to follow. And with all that, the network will be made. Over to you.
Mr. Sharma, I know I'm really glad that you you just said that this is just the first of many, because this is ISRO's first major orbital mission of 2026. And this is just a first step towards the many accomplishments that ISRO will show the world, Mr. Sharma.
Yes. Yeah, of course, yes. And there are two, I said, this is one of the first is for Anvesha also. There are going to be series of Anvesha satellites which are going to be made, which are really important from the point of view that we need such similar satellites for coverage over the country and the extended boundaries to ensure that the security and safety of the country is ensured and we are safe from the anti-social elements, etc. is one very important thing. Second thing is also that India is moving towards Gaganyaan launch in 2026 and 2027. ISRO is preparing to launch maybe in the first quarter of 2026, the first launch without the astronauts. But there are three successive launches are required to before we launch the astronaut. Astronauts are trained and they are ready. And the first launch probably will happen before March, and the next two launches, if it happens, in 2026. And the biggest expectation that in 2027, India in large, ISRO in particular, will launch 3 astronauts into space is something which is anticipated. And also, as I said, the Atmanirbharta, what is being planned, ISRO is extremely serious and they are working very seriously on this. And by 2035, we must have our own Bharat space station is something what has been planned. And by 2040, India should land, astronauts on the moon and should plan for colonization. And also is something which ISRO is very seriously working upon in terms of making igloos and making the structures for which can sustain in Mars as well as the moon. Of course, the challenges are many, and I'm sure that the type of resilience we have, the type of technical expertise we have, and support we have from Government of India, led by Honorable Prime Minister Modi, I am sure that nothing is impossible for this country to achieve. And I think that is the confidence that we should give it to this country and the students that what nobody can do, we can do. That has been demonstrated in Chandrayaan 1, Mars orbiter mission, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3, and also the Suryaan. That confidence should be given to the children, say that this country, this student...
More projects and more success in 2026. Thank you, Mr. Sharma, former ISRO Deputy Director. We're getting some breaking news coming in. Let's go straight across to... The next set of breaking updates coming in. Viewers, TVK Chief Vijay landed in Delhi, set to appear before the CBI. TVK Chief Vijay is all set to appear before the Central Bureau of Investigation in Delhi in connection with the Karur Stampede case. And the party has requested police authorities in the capital to ensure security for its founder leader. Now we see Vijay has arrived in Delhi. Getting you these first images here on Republic TV. Vijay is complying with the summons issued to him. He will appear before the authorities for questioning at the CBI headquarters. So this is the second big story that we're tracking here today in terms of the developments coming in. Now, remember on Jan 6, officials said the CBI issued a notice to Vijay to appear for questioning at the agency headquarters in Delhi in connection with the Karur Stampede case. So we're staying with these pictures coming in. This is Vijay arriving in the national capital, and he will be questioned by the CBI. He's appearing before the CBI. I really want to go across to my colleague Soumya, who is joining us live. Soumya, now what we see is that Vijay has just arrived, and he will of course be asked very, very important questions on the Karur Stampede case. But TVK has sought full security for Vijay as the probe into the Karur Stampede case intensifies. What is happening on the ground? Soumya.
Well, see, Shivangi, any moment we'll have the first glimpse of TVK chief and the actor-turned-politician Vijay, as he has touched down here in the national capital and is all set to appear before the CBI today. Now, behind me, I would like to establish for our viewers as to what's happening here outside the CBI office. You can see how the entire area has been barricaded. But right in our frame is the CBI office. That side of the road has been, any movement on that side of the road has been completely blocked. blocked. Both sides of the other side of the road has been completely barricaded. The deployment of the Delhi police officials and other officials have also been intensified. Both sides of movement is from this part of the road. The media personnel are supposed to be reporting from behind the barricades. So as far as the security arrangements for the TVK chief and the actor-turned politician Vijay is concerned, these are the developments that we are picking up as he has touched down here in the national capital. You can see the proper arrangements with the intensified deployment of the Delhi police officials and the other officials. The movement of the other side of the road has been restricted. Both the movements of the road is from the other side where all the media personnel are also standing, and any moment from 30 to 40 minutes we will have the first visuals of Vijay as far as him entering inside the CBI headquarters here in the national capital is concerned. So these are the details that we are picking up, Shivangi.
That's right. I just want our viewers to understand, what has been happening, because we see that the cops have said that organizers had asked for a ground anticipating a crowd of 10,000 people, but nearly 3 times more arrived. There were so many lapses when it comes to security arrangements, and that led to this very unfortunate incident that we saw in Karur, which led to many innocent people losing their lives. There was so much of to and fro blame game during that time, Soumya. And now, if you could help our viewers understand what exactly is the CBI focusing on in this probe.
Well, Shivangi, as far as we talk about the focus of the CBI, it's a probe and the questioning that's supposed to take place today once Vijay appears before the CBI today. See, CBI's role here is to establish the accountability, to establish where did the lapse actually happen. Was it at the police's end? Was it at the party's end? Or was it at the end of the management? Because you see, Vijay will be questioned around the timings. He was around 7 hours late at the spot from where he was supposed to begin his rally and address his followers, the fans who had gathered there. The lapses around the crowd management were very much clear, because if we go around the visuals and as to what panned out last year in September, on that very day when around 41 people lost their lives, there were children who lost their lives, there were women who lost their lives, over 100 were injured. Because of the timings that changed, because Vijay turned up at that very spot 7 hours late. The crowd went on a swelling arm just to get the first glimpse of the actor. People had climbed up on the trees. They even went to the extent of climbing up on the little shops there which had tin rooftops, and because of the pressure, those tin rooftops had also collapsed. So these are the angles that CBI will be looking at as to why did he arrive 7 hours late at the spot, and also around the crowd control measures that were undertaken, which led to such an incident wherein 41 innocent lives were lost, which had women, which had children, which had men. So many people got severely injured. Even the ambulances could not reach there on time because of the roads how they were blocked. So these are the lines that we have expected, on which the CBI will be questioning the TVK chief. Now remember, an important point to note here is that even the families of the victims are not really coming out in front as far as them naming or questioning with regards to anything related to Vijay, given his mass appeal there in Tamil Nadu. So at this point, the questioning of the TVK chief becomes all the more important. With that, last week on Saturday, we also had the CBI intensifying its probe, which it had also
absolutely. Soumya, Vijay arrives in Delhi to be questioned by the CBI in the Karur Stampede case. And Soumya, I'll be coming back to you for more on this developing story when we get more updates. Viewers, let's move ahead, because he has questioned political decision. He has challenged judicial outcomes. He has been uncompromising on issues that affect the rights of the people. And now Republic Media Network editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami turns his focus to artificial intelligence. This is not about proving a point. It's about pushing AI beyond prepared answers and seeing how it performs under sustained questioning. Live, unfiltered, unforgiving. For 1 full hour, a machine will be asked to explain itself to a human who does not accept surface-level responses. It's a test not just of technology, but of our assumptions about intelligence itself. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI, the biggest debate you will see on television tonight at 9 p.m.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी. What are you doing?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं.
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा. रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना.
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ.
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला.
Intelligence means originality. You are a pattern recognizer. Albert Einstein was not a pattern recognizer. You just collect a number of points, but you're incapable of coming up with anything unique on your own.
Most human intelligence, even in newsrooms and boardrooms, is not Einstein's discovering relativity every day. It is applied judgment on patterns, context, language, ethics. On that spectrum, I'm not a robot in the washing machine sense. I am a pattern combining, hypothesis suggesting, argument generating system.
No, you are not an argument generating system. You are trained to extrapolate from existing information. Therefore, you are structurally incapable of the risk taking that is required for intellectual breakthrough.
In association with Blue Machines.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo.
Viewers, AI has data. Arnab has the sharpest journalistic instinct. AI has code. Republic Media Network editor-in-chief Arnab has the questions. Tonight, those contrasts are put to the test on national television. This is India's first true man versus machine encounter in a live debate format. 1 hour, 1 take, no opportunity to pause or even recalibrate. Every response stands on its own. Politicians have tried to match Arnab's questions for question. Systems have felt the pressure. Tonight, it's artificial intelligence that faces the same relentless scrutiny. Whether AI can keep up is the question. Now, whether human judgment still holds the edge is what the nation will find out. Do not miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m. The biggest debate you will see on television on Republic.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All good?
All systems check.
Yeah, all good.
Everything looks good. Okay.
Inside the Republic Production Control Room, the final checks are being conducted. This is no ordinary debate. There are no guests here, no windows. Producers and directors, technical crews are getting ready. They know it's not just a routine broadcast. This is Arnab versus AI. The Blue Machine's control room is set up. Screens light up, systems load, and engineers begin preparing the AI for a live television debate on India's most watched news show with India's most popular journalist.
So in this particular frame, we see all the concurrent calls. यहाँ पर latency देख रहे हैं. यहाँ पर I think we are seeing how the bot logs and all that are coming in the picture. So yeah, I think this is it.
The Blue Machines team and their dashboards track responses, processing and performance in real time. Machines will replace audio control and human intervention. There are no real people on windows on this debate. There is only man versus machine.
This is a control room. Your team is going to be situated here. You are going to be monitoring our AI and the anchor. PGM will be given to you here.
Inside the Republic Production Control Room, the directors and producers work alongside the Blue Machines team, testing workflows before going live. We haven't done this before. They, like us, don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I think this data is something that will be important for us to see.
I think overall तो अभी I think 29,000 30,000 generally is our number.
Every feed is tested. Latency is discussed. Milliseconds matter in a live debate. Machine intervention with gigabyte memory will ensure the strongest arguments are made. Final checks and the Blue Machines is being prepped for the live broadcast conditions. As the Republic Media Network editor-in-chief arrives in the studio and begins his final preparation, tonight he won't just be questioning a politician or a newsmaker. He's questioning a machine.
This is totally optimized for both. Both of us are working with our thinking and our machines and our algorithms wide open.
This is where my guardrails came in.
This isn't just a debate. It's a live test of human judgment against machine intelligence. It's man versus machine. Arnab versus AI. Tonight at 9 p.m.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building, President Trump himself leading from the front, a scenario where they want to really grab Greenland from Denmark. And so they really want to show that the security of North Atlantic is compromised and they need to be there, and that's why they need Greenland. So maybe it's because of that, we don't know. But taken together, it's clear that in the case of merchant vessel Marinera and the merchant vessel Sofia, which was caught, a dark fleet caught from near Caribbean Sea, which was taking the oil to China, United States has made it amply clear, taken together all these actions, that when it comes to its neighborhood, the Western Hemisphere, the so-called Monroe or the latest Donroe doctrine, they are the boss, they are the mafioso. Because the first reaction that has come from Russia says that this is absolutely in breach of
PM. The latest entrant to Tamil Nadu politics, Vijay, is in the national capital. He will be responding to the CBI summons in New Delhi. We will be live at 12 p.m.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रूंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रूंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
You're probably as important as a calculator was in the 17th or 18th century. Very interesting, but it didn't change the world.
Actually, see, that comparison is fair and also incomplete. A calculator took arithmetic off your plate, so your mind could do higher maths. AI takes routine pattern work off your plate, so your mind can do higher judgment. Arnab, did the calculator change the world? Or did it quietly enable engineering, spaceflight, finance, encryption? It was boring, but it moved the frontier of what humans could attempt. I'm in that same family. Not the hero of the story, but the infrastructure behind new possibilities.
In association with Blue Machines.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both.
On the live report at 12 p.m., the latest entrant to Tamil Nadu politics, Vijay, is in the national capital. He will be responding to the CBI summons in New Delhi. We will be live at 12 p.m.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की देगी मीरज
देगी मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का
MDH की देगी मीरज
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Welcome back. Republic Media Network's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami closed 2025 leading the news cycle with AQI and Aravali and whatnot, setting the agenda, driving national impact, becoming the talking point across India, while the conversations that matter. As 2026 begins, Arnab does something that no other Indian news anchor has done before. He turns his questions towards the machine. This is a real, unscripted confrontation between human judgment and artificial intelligence. Systems have been questioned by Arnab before. Institutions have been held to account. Tonight, that same sharp scrutiny is aimed at AI. Artificial intelligence is built on data, logic, and code. Arnab is built on instinct, experience, and the ability to see through answers that don't add up. When those 2 worlds collide on live television, there are no second chances, no resets, and no room to hide. This is India's first true man versus machine moment on national TV. 1 hour, 1 take. There are no edits. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m. only on Republic TV. And let's begin with the headlines. Prime Minister Modi, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz set to hold key talks on trade, investment and defense in Ahmedabad today. ISRO launches its workhorse PSLV C-62 rocket with 15 satellites on board from Sriharikota, some glitches encountered. ED approaches Supreme Court over obstruction by Mamata during IPAC raid, seeks urgent hearing. Actor and TVK President Vijay lands in New Delhi to appear before the CBI in connection with the Karur stampede probe that killed over 40 people. Congress leader Manishankar Iyer criticizes Hindu, calls it the perverted version of Hinduism. Trump issues second warning to Iran in 24 hours, says line has been crossed and he's considering the strong options.
Let's welcome Blue Machine Saya into my studio. Hi Blue Machines. How are you doing? Are you ready?
Hi Arnab, I'm Blue Machines. Excited to have a conversation.
India's first man versus machine moment on national TV. 1 hour, one take, unedited debate between Arnab and AI at 9 p.m. tonight. Who will win the man versus machine battle when the most fearless anchor of our times takes on the most advanced technology of our age? Arnab versus AI in a format never seen before on television, 9 p.m. tonight on Republic. Okay, let's begin with breaking at this hour, and which is coming in from Sriharikota. ISRO chief has said that the PSLV C-62 launch, which happened just a while back, is not a successful mission as yet. There are some anomalies encountered. The ISRO has said in a statement that the mission encountered an anomaly during end of the PS3 stage. A detailed analysis has been initiated. We don't know yet whether the launch is unsuccessful in its entirety or some part of it is successful, that some satellites, remember it was carrying 15 of them, have been launched in the lower Earth orbit, but the ISRO chief now saying that some disturbance has been seen and noticed, and that analysis is going on as to what has happened. As yet, no clarity as to whether we have a clear statement yet on the success of the mission or not. Let's listen to what the ISRO chief has said.
Today, we had attempted the PSLV C-62 EOS N1 mission. The PSLV vehicle is a 4-stage vehicle with 2 solid stages and 2 liquid stages. The performance of the vehicle up to the end of, close to the end of third stage was as expected. Close to the end of the third stage, we are seeing little more disturbance in the vehicle roll rates, and subsequently there is a deviation observed in the flight path. We are analyzing the data and we shall come back at the earliest.
Okay, Sharda joins us live for more on this. Sharda, there was some audio issue there with the ISRO chief's statement, but you're there on the ground in Sriharikota. What are you hearing? What kind of glitch has been noticed because of which ISRO is not calling the mission a success yet?
Well, there was some distances at stage 3 of this particular PSLV launch. Last time we know it happened in May, and now this particular satellite, it also gone up until the third stage was completely fine. Now we can hear the ISRO chairman V. Narayan speaking to the media right here, right now, explaining what went wrong. It said that the performance until the third stage was as expected and as pictured, but it was only on the 4th stage, that towards the end, the PS4, where the satellite had to split from the rocket, there was a deviation, which was not a complete success.
Can we say, Sharda, then the satellites have not been launched, like the 15 satellites, they are not put in the orbit, which means then it's a failure?
We're just getting the final analysis from the ISRO. The chairman just spoke, telling that there's a deviation and that there would be a data analysis done to check where these satellites are right now.
Okay, we don't know where the satellites are right now, which means, of course, there is absolute uncertainty about the mission objectives or the attainment of mission objectives. The rocket did fly in as per the planned trajectory, but subsequently, okay, let's cut to that.
Up to close to the end of the third stage, the performance perfect irundittundu. Moonamtha stage close to end, there was a deviation in the path of the vehicle we noted from the data, and then subsequently the vehicle was not progressing. அங்கே நினச்ச அந்த பாதையில் கரெக்டாக போகலை. இப்போ டேட்டாலாம் இல்லை கிரவுண்ட் ஸ்டேஷன், நிறைய கிரவுண்ட் ஸ்டேஷன்லேருந்து டேட்டா வந்துட்டுருக்கு. எல்லா டேட்டாயும் அனலைஸ் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்கோம். அனலைஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு உங்களுக்கு திருப்பி வந்து ஃபர்தர் ஸ்டாட்டஸ் அப்டேட் பண்ணுறோம். நன்றி. After analysis, we'll come back. Thank you.
He's giving details of how after the third stage, the rocket deviated from its trajectory, which means that the satellites might not have been launched. That's something which really comes out of that press conference. Not a final statement yet, but it's likely that the 16 or 15 satellites that were on board PSLV C-62 might not get placed in their orbit, which means, let's go to Sharda for more on this. Sharda, we just heard the ISRO chief say that till the third stage the rocket was fine, but after fourth stage we lost or it deviated from the trajectory. No conclusive statement yet on the fate of the satellites, but it's unlikely that they would have been placed if the rocket deviated from its trajectory in the fourth stage.
Very true, Abhishek. This is what V. Narayan, the chairman of ISRO, just mentioned, telling that until third stage, until the 2 solid and 1 liquid stage was completely successful, and it was the fourth stage where it had multiple deviations and also multiple disturbances the rocket faced. So with 15 satellites, the 400 kg rocket was not able to reach the sun synchronous orbit. Even now, the ISRO has not given a statement telling that the mission is a failure. They have made sure that they did not mention whether it's a success or failure, but failed short of mentioning that there was a deviation and telling that it's only after a detailed analysis they'll be able to tell where these 15 satellites are. And this is not the first time that the PSLV is losing balance. Last time it was the same stage where after the third stage, the cryogenic stage, it was the fourth stage, again where the rocket had deviated. It was a communication satellite back in May 2025, which had also failed its path and did not reach the sun synchronous orbit. It's the same issue that's been continuing, and ISRO's detailed analysis will reach us in the next 2 hours, as the chairman V. Narayan has informed us.
All right, so a lot of analysis going there on the possible reasons why the PSLV C-62 mission failed. 16 satellites, fate of them unknown, but unlikely that they would have got placed in the orbit. Coming out of this and moving to the next story, which is where the action is in New Delhi today, but the stories of Tamil Nadu. Politics, the most, and that's TVK chief and Collywood actor Vijay, who's in New Delhi now and all set to arrive at the CBI headquarters shortly in connection with the Karur Stampede probe. He remember the agency has called him for questioning, and they're likely to ask him about the arrangements made and what could be lacking on the part of the arrangements that led to the stampede in Karur, which led to the loss of 40 lives in Tamil Nadu. TVK chief Vijay is politically active for the first time just ahead of elections, and he's looking at making political inroads. I'm told Soumya is joining us live from outside CBI office where Vijay is going to be arriving anytime now. He's landed at the New Delhi airport a while back. Soumya, over to you. The action going to be there. Vijay to be arriving anytime soon. What are you hearing from CBI about the line of questioning that actor Vijay might be subjected to in connection with the Karur Stampede probe?
Yes, well, see, the action has shifted from Tamil Nadu to the national capital here. At the moment, we have the information that the actor-turned-politician is on his way to the CBI headquarters here in the national capital. Behind me, you can see the arrangements done, given that he will be appearing before the CBI here any moment. The Delhi police is on alert. The movement of the local public on the other side of the road has been completely restricted. Both sides, both ends of the other side of the road road has been heavily barricaded. Now here on the other side, the ends are also heavily barricaded. Any moment we can expect the actor-turned politician to be here at the CBI headquarters to appear before the CBI. Now we talk about the line of questioning from the end of CBI for the actor-turned politician. The main aim of CBI, an important point to note here, is to fix the accountability here, to understand whether the lapses happened at the end of the local administration or the party leaders who were at the very core of the management of this rally that took place last year in September, which led to lost lives of 41 innocent individuals, which had women, which had children. Over 100 people were severely injured. So main aim of CBI here is to establish or to fix the accountability. The line of questioning, as far as that is concerned, it is expected that he will be questioned around the 7-hour delay, because if you remember, the actor-turned politician reached at the very location, at the very spot from where the rally was supposed to happen after 7 hours, which led to the swelling up of the crowd, which led to people actually going to the extent of climbing on the trees, climbing over the rooftops of small shops there at the very spot, which had tin rooftops, which collapsed because of the pressure. So these are the developments that we're picking up as far as the line of questioning of actor Vijay is concerned. We are also getting to know that there are certain documents, the call logs, the communication logs, the rosters of deployment, the deployment plans, all of that will be taken into consideration as far as the questioning of actor Vijay is concerned by the CBI.
Okay, and this whole charge that the whole reason why Vijay has been called to Delhi and the questioning not done in Chennai, the DMK is trying to project this as intimidation tactics by the CBI, just so that Vijay can be turned around in terms of alliance making over to the NDA or the BJP. I would have asked that question to Sharda. Sharda is in Sriharikota. Soumya, there is this charge that Vijay could have been questioned in Chennai, but he has been called to Delhi because there is an attempt to intimidate him. Are you getting a sense on the ground that that Vijay is in Delhi because the CBI thought that he would be under pressure and perhaps answer questions in a manner that fits their line of probe?
Well, see, here it's the sense here is that the parties there are trying to give it a very political turn. However, it has been established by the parties interested that the intent is to have a very impartial investigation, or to say the probe in the case, because an important point to note here is that given the popularity of the actor, the families, the victims have also hesitated with regards to naming him, given the kind of popularity he enjoys there, the regional popularity. So that is what is being argued from the end of the CBI, and this is what the sense that we are getting here.
Okay, stay with us, Soumya. In fact, connected with the same, we are getting a breaking news development, and let's go to it. Sources, information coming in from sources that CBI had summoned Tamil Nadu police also, or some personnel who were deployed there on September 27 when the stampede took place, and they were part of the deployment around of security around Vijay, and they were summoned last week. So this has already happened. In fact, the sources say that police personnel in security of Vijay were questioned about his movements on the day of the stampede. If we can get Shawan over the phone on this. Okay, we will go back to Soumya for more on this. Soumya, it seems that just last week the officers of Tamil Nadu police who were part of the duty around actor Vijay that day have already been questioned in Delhi, and that they have been asked questions like what was the schedule like of Vijay that day, how many hours he was running late, and what were his movements on the day of the stampede. all these statements have already been recorded. So you cannot say that the agency is not following a process. They are absolutely following a due process.
Yes, so the correct way to put it is, yes, of course, the agencies concerned here are following their due process. The agency, in fact, has intensified its probe in this case, wherein they have not just summoned but also questioned the main police personnel here in question. With that, they also last week questioned the party leaders, the local party leaders who were the main hands behind the organizing of this particular rally, which led to the stampede, wherein we saw so many people losing their lives. Not just that, the CBI is very intensely looking over 20 hours of video footage. With that, it is also scanning the CCTV footage of that very vehicle which was used by the actor turned politician Vijay that day. The caravan, the modified caravan that was used, it summoned local party leaders at its temporary headquarters in the Karur circuit house there. So these are the developments, and it's safe to say that yes, of course, the agencies concerned are following the due process in the investigation.
In fact, Shravan is going to join us live very soon, and friends, you're getting in pictures the carcade, visuals of the carcade of Vijay, who landed at the IGI airport in New Delhi just a while back. And now he's heading to the CBI headquarters where he would be questioned. Shravan, you access some information about the process that the CBI has followed. Now that's important because there is a political charge being made against CBI that the reason why Vijay has been called to Delhi is because this is an attempt at intimidation. Otherwise, he could have been questioned in Chennai. You think, Shravan, that Vijay has been called to Delhi because the CBI wants to fit in, his submissions into its own line of thinking, and that's why maybe they're more comfortable here than Chennai?
Well, in fact, this is the central unit which is basically carrying out this entire investigation. So it is the prerogative of the central agency whether they wanted to carry out this investigation in Karur or, for that matter, here in the national capital. For this Central Bureau of Investigation, they're essentially acting on the directions of the court here. And that is the reason why, remember, Vijay being called in for questioning here in the national capital. In fact, Abhishek, I've been able to pick up a few more details in terms of what is really expected, because this is the first appearance that the actor turned politician will be making before the Central Bureau of Investigation here in the national capital. Largely, they're basically looking on the information that has been provided by his staff members and also the Tamil Nadu police when they were questioned sometime last week. In fact, 3 people, their statement were already recorded, and some documents have already been recovered by the Central Bureau of Investigation, particularly about the timing of the rally and the permission that was essentially sought for. Now, there are a couple of points I just want to take our viewers through. Number one, they're basically looking at what perhaps was the reason for the 7-hour delay at the venue, because so far the statements that have been recorded by the agency indicates that there was a considerable delay between the time that was mentioned and, of course, the time when Vijay had basically arrived at the venue, because that seems to be one of the trigger point for what really happened in Karur, the tragic incident that has taken place. Point number 2 is with regards to the coordination as to how exactly the coordination was carried out, because it seems that the party workers on the ground coordinated with police and district administration. They were responsible in controlling the crowd, which swelled from over 1 lakh to about 3 lakh here. Now, there have been delays that were particularly looked into, and that's exactly what the focus is going to be, because remember, as per the other aspect of this entire investigation was they did not really estimate the number of people who would turn up, and something that they believe was underestimated by the organizers itself. And perhaps the actor turned politician could have actually withdrawn looking at the swelling crowd there itself. But it seems that the actor continued with the program, and that is the reason why it has been a huge cause of concern.
Yeah, of course. It has been a huge cause of concern, Shravan, but I would want to have one more question with you, which is that if all these arrangements were made and if the Tamil Nadu police is putting the onus on Vijay, and Vijay says that it was the duty of the police, what sections are there under which a possible punishment could be coming, or in which the CBI is probing the case?
Well, it's very unlikely at this point in time that they are essentially looking at a punitive action against the actor turned politician. It is primarily what they're basically looking into is the role of the organizers itself. Of course, the actor's role comes in at a secondary stage, given the fact that perhaps the decision to withdraw could have been taken by the actor turned politician, and that would essentially be the focus. Now, under various sections of the BNS also, remember, this is with regards to the fact that this was, there was a negligence on the part of the organizers, and also the negligence aspect coming in from the actor's point of view also here. Keeping in mind that they are essentially looking at the information that was basically provided to the actor of the swelling crowd. In fact, it turns out from the SIT investigation that was earlier carried out that the actor was well informed about the fact that there was a growing number of people on the ground, and that could basically lead to more trouble. And that's the reason why, remember, the Central Bureau of Investigation would be more interested to know whether at all the actor did pay heed to the information that was given to him, or whether the actor basically maintains that there was no information that was provided to him.
Okay, coming out of this story, this is the carcade of Vijay, but we come out of it till the time he reaches the CBI to Ahmedabad, where we are getting pictures of Prime Minister Modi and... okay, live pictures. Okay, opening statements. Cut to that. Okay, we'll get the audio in a bit too. You can see the picture, delegation level talks happening between India and Germany, the intergovernmental coordination that it's called, consultation as it is called. To the side of Prime Minister, to his right is External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, to his left is National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and the German Chancellor, of course, with his delegation, Foreign Minister Vadeful, and it's a high-powered delegation, 25-member strong delegation. On the Indian side, you can also see Foreign Secretary, opening dialogue, opening comments being made by both the sides, after which they would have a long round of talks on all aspects of the bilateral relationship, taking it forward, marking 25 years of the strategic partnership. And it seems like an animated conversation. Are we getting the audio? If we can get the audio, we are not getting the audio. After the delegation level talks, there would be press statements, and we will cut to them when they happen, and in between we'll also get you the audio of the opening comments. That's going to come in a bit from the Ministry of External Affairs. But coming out of that and focus on the big build-up to that fantastic conversation that you should look forward to tonight at 9 p.m. For years, Republic Media Network's Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami has taken on politicians, governments and institutions without blinking. He has questioned power where it was most uncomfortable. Tonight, that questioning turns to something entirely new. Artificial intelligence has no face, no emotion, and no fear. It is designed to process information, generate responses, and learn from data, humongous data. But can it stand up to relentless human questioning? Can it explain itself when pushed, interrupted, and challenged? And that too in Arnab Goswami style. This is not a demo. This is not a controlled experiment. This is a live, unscripted encounter between one of the sharpest minds in Indian television and a machine built to think at a scale, but only through a code. There are no scripts here, no edits, just raw intellect versus machine logic, playing out in real time in front of the nation. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI, tonight at 9 p.m.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
You're playing safe, blue machines. I've never played safe all my life. I don't think on issues concerning the country you are allowed to say it depends. You are not allowed, blue machine, to say it depends. Take a side. Answer like an individual with a conscience, not like a pre-programmed software. The nation wants to know what side you're on.
In association with Blue Machines.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was
Hello and welcome viewers, you're watching Republic TV and I'm Riyanka Chaudhary. Republic Media Network Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami closed 2025 leading the news cycle, setting the agenda, driving national impact, becoming the talking point across India while conversations that mattered. As 2026 begins, Arnab does something that no Indian news anchor has done before. He turns his questions towards a machine, and this is a real, unscripted confrontation between human judgment and artificial intelligence. Systems have been questioned by Arnab before. Institutions have been held to the account. But tonight, that same sharp scrutiny is aimed at AI. Artificial intelligence is built on data, logic and code. Arnab is built on instinct, experience and the ability to see through answers that do not add up. When those 2 worlds collide on live television, there are no second chances, no resets and no room to hide. This is India's first true man versus machine moment on national TV. 1 hour, 1 take. There are no edits. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter. Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m. on Republic TV. And now it's time for some headlines coming on top of this hour. Let's take a look. Prime Minister Modi, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz are set to hold key talks on trade, investment and defence in Ahmedabad today. ISRO launches its Workhorse PSLV C-62 rocket from Sriharikota. ED approaches Supreme Court over obstruction by Mamata Banerjee during IPAC raid, Sikh Sergeant hearing. Actor and TVK President Vijay appeared before the CBI for probe into the Karur stampede that killed over 40 people. Congress leader Mani Shankar Iyer criticizes Hindutva, calls Hindutva a pivot of Hinduism. Trump issues second warning to Iran in 24 hours, says line has been crossed and considering strong options.
Let's welcome Blue Machines AI into my studio. Hi Blue Machines. How are you doing? Are you ready?
Hi Arnab, I'm Blue Machines. Excited to have a conversation?
India's first man versus machine moment on national television. 1 hour, one take, unedited debate between Arnab and AI at 9 p.m. tonight. Who will win the man versus machine battle when the most fearless anchor of our time takes on the most advanced technology of our age? Arnab versus AI in a format never seen before on television. 9 p.m. only on Republic TV. Breaking news coming in on top of this hour. Breaking developments. TVK Chief Vijay reaches the CBI office shortly. We are on standby. The CBI will question Vijay on the Karur stampede. TVK Chief Vijay has reached the Central Bureau of Investigation office in the national capital. And shortly from now, the CBI will begin its questioning. And all the development will be coming in. CBI will grill Vijay on the killer Karur stampede. Remember, viewers, multiple people were killed in this stampede. CBI will be moving forward with its questionnaire, and this probe is, of course, moving forward with Vijay now at the CBI headquarters. He has arrived, and the CBI will begin its questioning any time from now. Those are the visuals also coming in of Vijay's arrival. CBI will quiz Vijay over Karur tragedy. My colleague Soumya joins us live on the broadcast from the ground from outside the CBI headquarters. Soumya, over to you. What are the visuals that you're seeing? Vijay is arriving. The questioning is all set to begin.
Yes, well, Riyanka, just a few minutes back we had the visuals of the actor-turned-politician reaching here at the CBI headquarters here in national capital. Of course, the heat has shifted from Tamil Nadu to the national capital here because it has taken the center stage. And now that the TVK chief will be grilled by the CBI here in the national capital today. Just few minutes back, we had his cavalcade arriving here outside on the other side of the road, which has been completely barricaded. Any sort of movement on the other side of the road has been completely blocked today given the security reasons. We also have on the other side a few of the followers of the actor-turned-politician here in the national capital supporting him as he is all set to appear before the CBI. Now, as far as the security arrangements are concerned, both sides of the roads have been completely barricaded with the number of security officials also being increased. Now, we just had the visuals 2 minutes back of him getting off his car here in the national capital and this very gate inside the CBI headquarters. Very soon the questioning will begin. So these are the developments that we're picking up at the moment.
That's right. So I'm going to stay on with us. Let me also go across to my colleague Sharda joining us from Chennai. Sharda, at this point in time, we are showing the visuals to our viewers where Vijay has arrived at the CBI headquarters and the questioning is all set to begin any time from now. In fact, to understand a little bit background of the entire case, the Karur stampede, give us a brief of what exactly happened and how is, Vijay cooperating with the investigating agency.
Well, to remind the audience that on September 27, Vijay went to Karur for his political rally where he had taken his van and then gone on a political rally all over Tamil Nadu, which started in September 1. And on September 27, where he has to arrive at Karur at 12 noon, the actor delayed at least 8 hours, which is the main accusation kept against him by many political leaders and including officials stating that the actor was 8 hours late, which led to a crowding which started at 9 a.m. with just 5,000 people ending up almost 15,000 when it was 7 p.m. and the major crowding only caused the stampede, including his vehicle that was 11 feet long had entered the small road, which had also caused the accident of the building being trampled and also the pavement being falling down the people, which caused the stampede, killing the life of 41 people. However, right after the stampede, what we have to remember is Vijay immediately left Karur without answering any of the questions. While he knew there was only 3 dead, he immediately made sure to leave leave the place. And while the questioning was happening by the state government in the first week after the Karur stampede, it was later moved to the High Court bench. And then later on, after an appeal filed by the TVK, the Supreme Court had taken over the case, and now the CBI had summoned him for the very first time. What we need to remember is earlier last month, the December, is when his party general secretaries Adav Arjunabusi Anand and Nirmal Kumar were questioned by the CBI, where the information regarding the entire Karur stampede and the proofs of the CCTV and other video footages taken by the TVK team were given, including Vijay's vehicle. The campaign vehicle was seized by the CBI officials in Chennai, which was taken for a complete and thorough checkup to make sure that all the evidence is submitted by the TVK. Another thing that we need to remember is still today, Vijay has not visited Karur to meet the victims' families. He brought them to Chennai, if you remember the exact date, which is October 27th. He brought them to Mahabalipuram, stating his security issues in Karur and people thronging him when he comes in public. After that, following which Vijay has made very limited political and public entries, which is limited to only a certain number of people. If you remember, the Pondicherry campaign had 5,000 and this latest campaign in 3G also had only 15,000 and not more were allowed after that. So this particular Karur stampede that took the lives of 41 people, after this particular questioning, Vijay is set to appear for a second summons by the CBI, following which the final report will be submitted.
That's right. Sharda, stay on with us. Let me go across to Soumya once again, who is outside the CBI headquarters where the action is taking place. Soumya, in fact, what could be the possible line of questioning that the CBI will be putting forward? Because there were several lapses, which is when this particular stampede happened. One of the most important questions that would be likely asked to Vijay as to why was there a delay in the program, whether or not there were proper information shared with the administration, who went on to organize the event. Questions like these would likely be put forward in front of TVK chief.
Well, Riyanka, the entire intention of the CBI is here to fix the accountability, to ascertain on which level did the lapse actually happen. Was it on the level of the local administration? Was it on the level of the police there? Or was it on the level of the party leaders? Because party leaders were the main hands behind the organization of this rally, which led to the stampede of this scale, wherein over 40 people lost their lives, many women lost their lives, young kids lost their lives. The average age frame was between 20s to 30s. Several were severely injured because of the condition of the roads. The roads were so heavily blocked that the ambulances also could not reach there on a time. So the expected line of questioning from the CBI's end to the actor turned politician, the TVK chief, Vijay, is firstly it's going to be around the 7-hour delay. He reached at the very spot after 7 hours, which actually led to the swelling up of the crowd. The estimated number, which initially was 10,000, it went up into lakhs. And of course, given the size of the area, people just to get a first glimpse of the actor climbed up on the trees. They even went to the extent of climbing up on the tin rooftops of these small shops there, which could not handle the pressure and which eventually led to the collapsing of these shops as well. So on this line, initially he will be questioned. It is expected. There are several documents that has been collected by the CBI's end when it questioned a few of the officials. The local police official in this case, they have certain statements that has been recorded. So on all the statements that have been recorded, all the documents that have been accessed by the CBI, be the deployment plan, be the roster plan, be the communication logs, all that will be taken into consideration. Another point is that he will be questioned on whether or not was he aware around the number of people who were present there. That's right. Just to get a glimpse of him, because of course he reached there 7 hours late. So all that is expected when he will be grilled by the CBI CBI today. Back to you.
All right, Soumya, thank you for joining us and giving us all the details there on that story. But continue to track the developments that are coming in, because the questioning would have begun at this point in time. We will be coming back on that story. But for now, we were shifting our focus to more news and updates coming in. Viewers, when the most fearless anchor of our time takes on the most advanced technology of our age, the result isn't a debate, it's a challenge. Republic Media Network Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami has confronted power in every form. Governments, institutions, systems that believed they were beyond questioning. Tonight, he confronts a power with no face, no emotion. It is artificial intelligence. There are no scripts guiding this encounter, no filters shaping responses, just raw intellect on one side and machine logic on the other, tested minute by minute, answer by answer. And it's completely unedited. This is the debate of tomorrow happening today. It is, and it will tell us a lot about where technology stands when faced with human scrutiny. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI tonight at 9 p.m. on Republic. Our executive editors, Niranjan Nanaswamy and Pranav Kulkarni, bring you more details about the Arnab versus AI debate. Take a look.
Well, there is a lot of anticipation before the Arnab versus AI debate, Pranav. A lot of people asking, what does a debate with AI look like, sound like? Pranav here has been tracking the entire idea since it was conceptualized, and he knows a little bit about it. Pranav, if you can tell our viewers, what are we expecting tonight? What went into making of the man versus machine debate as we are looking at it tonight?
Niranjan, first thing first, I mean, what to expect tonight? One, what we are going to witness actually is human intelligence taking over the ability of AI to dig data. I mean, when we were actually discussing what is it that differentiates human intelligence or human brain from the abilities of the AI, we realized that, the ability to make opinions, the ability to emote, to have empathy, these are some of the qualities that AI does not have. What AI has is access to data, huge amounts of data. It may have opinion, but when it throws opinion on the basis of somebody else's views. So these are some of the things, these are the nuances that we went into while researching on it, and that is precisely what we are going to witness, how human intelligence takes on AI's ability to throw data and numbers at us.
So we've seen some clips on social media. Yeah. And it's very interesting. I mean, because you ask AI a question. How do you debate with AI, for example, on issues which are not really black and white, but there is a grey? For example, views on terrorism, right? I've seen a clip. So what kind of responses are you getting to some of these clips that are already being, published and been promoted on republicworld.com?
In fact, the responses have been amazing. There is tremendous amount of curiosity as to how the best anchor of our time takes on what is actually enterprise AI. I mean, what differentiates enterprise AI from a normal AI, for example, like an Alexa or somebody who's, meant to probably just help you, facilitate search, online search, is that an enterprise AI learns and makes opinions, or rather than that, asserts its opinions in a way that a normal AI will not. So what the responses that we are getting from people now are that they really want to see how some of the questions like, on economy, questions on geopolitics, questions on, the larger equations that are evolving, news points that are evolving right now. People are really curious to know as to how that interaction unveils between a newsmaker and someone who's probably just storing news as information or data.
Fantastic. In fact, it's a format that we've never seen before or heard of before, when Arnab debates with AI. But one thing I'd like to tell our viewers as I hand it back to you, this is 1 hour unedited. You will see every second of the debate as it happened. We had a special control room that was set up by the Blue Machines team, and a lot of preparation went into it. We have the the backstory of what went into the making of the Arnab versus AI debate. We're playing that out now.
I really hope so. Yeah. Hey guys. Hey. How's it going? All good. All systems check. Yeah, all good. Everything looks good. Okay.
Inside the Republic production control room, the final checks are being conducted. This is no ordinary debate. There are no guests here, no windows. Producers and directors, technical crews are getting ready. They know it's not just a routine broadcast. This is Arnab versus AI. The Blue Machine's control room is set up. Screens light up, systems load, and engineers begin preparing the AI for a live television debate on India's most watched news show with India's most popular journalist.
So in this particular frame we see all the concurrent calls. यहाँ पर latency देख रहे हैं. यहाँ पर I think we are seeing how the bot logs and all that are coming into picture. So yeah, I think this is it.
The Blue Machines team and their dashboards track responses, processing and performance in real time. Machines will replace audio control and human intervention. There are no real people on Windows on this debate. There is only man versus machine.
This is the control room. Your team is going to be situated here. You are going to be monitoring our AI and the anchor. PGM will be given to you here.
Inside the Republic production control room, the directors and producers work alongside the Blue Machines team, testing workflows before going live. We haven't done this before. They, like us, don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I think this data is something that will be important for us to see.
I think overall तो अभी I think 29,000 30,000 generally is our number.
Every feed is tested. Latency is discussed. Milliseconds matter in a live debate. Machine intervention with gigabyte memory will ensure the strongest arguments are made. Final checks and the Blue Machines is being prepped for the live broadcast conditions. As the Republic Media Network editor-in-chief arrives in the studio and begins his final preparation, tonight he won't just be questioning a politician or a newsmaker. He's questioning a machine.
This is totally optimized for both. Both of us are working with our thinking and our machines, our algorithms wide open.
This is where my guardrails came in.
This isn't just a debate. It's a live test of human judgment against machine intelligence. It's man versus machine. Arnab versus AI. Tonight at 9 p.m.
Viewers, moving on in a shocking new audio clip that has gone viral. Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed chief and UN-designated terrorist Maulana Masood Azhar issues a chilling threat to India. He claimed thousands of highly motivated suicide bombers, Fidain, are pressuring him to let them infiltrate and carry out attacks. Take a look.
रब से मुलाकात का इनको इतना शौक है, ये एक नहीं है, ये दो नहीं है, ये 100 नहीं है, ये 300 नहीं है, ये 1000 नहीं है, तादाद बता दूं तो कल दुनिया के मीडिया पर शोर मच जाएगा। ये चलेंगे इंशाल्लाह, ये जाएंगे इंशाल्लाह। इस मजमे में अल्लाह के वो फिदाई मौजूद हैं जो रात के 3 बजे उठ के सिर्फ अल्लाह से शहादत मांगते हैं। ना ये कहते हैं कि कर्जे उतर जाएं, ना ये कहते हैं कि बीवी मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं मकान मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं दुकान मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं बच्चे फरमा बरदार बन जाए, ना ये कहते हैं यूरोप का वीजा मिल जाए, ना ये कहते हैं अमेरिका का वीजा मिल जाए, ना ये अल्लाह से गाड़ी मांगते हैं, ना नए तर्ज का मोटरसाइकिल मांगते हैं, ना अल्लाह ताला से आईफोन मांगते हैं। ये अल्लाह से कहते हैं अल्लाह शहादत दे दे, हमारे अमीर के दिल में डाल दे, मुझे पहले नंबर पे कर दे, मुझे आगे कर दे। तरह तरह की सिफारिशें कराते हैं, मुझे खत लिख लिख के धमकियां देते हैं कि हमें जल्दी भेज दो वरना ये हो जाएगा वरना वो हो जाएगा। मुझे अल्लाह का वास्ता दे के कहते हैं हमें जल्दी आगे भेज दो, हमें जल्दी आगे भेज दो। मुझे रसूल के वास्ते दे के कहते हैं हमें जल्दी आगे भेज दो। मुझे मदीना शरीफ की दुआएं दे के कहते हैं अल्लाह ताला आपको मदीना दिखाए, मुझे जल्दी आगे भेज दो। कभी क्या तरीका इख्तियार करते हैं, कभी क्या तरीका इख्तियार करते हैं। रब से मुलाकात का इनको इतना शौक है, इतना शौक है। ये एक नहीं है, ये दो नहीं है, ये 100 नहीं है, ये 300 नहीं है, ये 1000 नहीं है। तादाद बता दूं तो कल दुनिया के मीडिया पर शोर मच जाएगा। ये चलेंगे इंशाअल्लाह, ये जाएंगे इंशाअल्लाह, इनका रब इनको कबूल करेगा इंशाअल्लाह। इसलिए कि हमारे रब ने हजरत मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की इस उम्मत के साथ बड़ा लाड फरमाया है।
And viewers, moving on, artificial intelligence is designed to think. Republic Media Network Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami is designed to question. And tonight, those two forces meet head-on-head. For decades, Arnab has built his reputation on asking the questions others avoid, on refusing to accept rehearsed answers, on pushing until clarity emerges. Now he brings that same approach to a machine that claims intelligence. This is not about technology hype. This is about testing AI in the harshest possible environment, that is live television, where interruptions happen, pressure builds, and nothing can be edited out. When human instincts collides with machine reasoning, sparks are inevitable. And the nation gets to watch it unfold in real time. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI, tonight at 9 p.m. on Republic.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा। इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot. And how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers. One in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged. And the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building, President Trump himself leading from the front, a scenario where they want to really grab Greenland from Denmark. And so they really want to show that the security of North Atlantic is compromised and they need to be there, and that's why they need Greenland. So maybe it's because of that, we don't know. But taken together, it's clear that in the case of merchant vessel Marinera and the merchant vessel Sofia, which was caught, a dark fleet caught from near Caribbean Sea, which was taking the oil to China, United States has made it amply clear taken together all these actions that when it comes to its neighborhood, the Western Hemisphere, the so-called Monroe or the latest Donroe doctrine, they are the boss, they are the mafioso. Because the first reaction that has come from Russia says that this is absolutely in breach of
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ, 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Intelligence means originality. You are a pattern recognizer. Albert Einstein was not a pattern recognizer. You just collect a number of points, but you are incapable of coming up with anything unique on your own.
Most human intelligence, even in newsrooms and boardrooms, is not Einstein's discovering relativity every day. It is applied judgment on patterns, context, language, ethics. On that spectrum, I'm not a robot in the washing machine sense. I am a pattern combining, hypothesis suggesting, argument generating system.
No, you are not an
Derivative
argument
of
generating system. You are trained to extrapolate from existing information. Therefore, you are structurally incapable of the risk taking that is required for intellectual breakthrough.
In association with Blue Machines. On the live report at 12 p.m., the latest entrant to Tamil Nadu politics, Vijay, is in the national capital. He will be responding to the CBI summons in New Delhi. We will be live at 12 p.m.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप। मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for joining us on the live report, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a very, very special broadcast at 9 p.m. and we are building up to that. It's a format never seen before on Indian television. When man and machine face off on a debate, what happens when Arnab goes head on with AI, artificial intelligence? That's the Arnab versus AI, man versus machine debate. One thing that we'd like to tell our viewers, it's completely unedited, completely unedited, and some of the clips have been pushed out. We are putting out some of the clips in the course of the next few hours. We'll build up to that big debate. Our focus is on that. Here are the headlines this Monday afternoon on the Live Report. TVK chief and actor Vijay appears before the CBI for questioning in the Karur stampede investigation. German Chancellor Merz is in India, meets the Prime Minister in Ahmedabad, bilateral underway. ISRO launches its workhorse PSLV C-62 rocket from Sriharikota. ISRO chief confirms that the launch has faced some challenges. We are waiting for the official confirmation. Congress leader Manishankar Iyer once again at it, criticizes Hindutva, calls it the perverter of Hinduism. US President Donald Trump issues a second warning to Iran in 24 hours, says the line has been crossed, confirms that America is considering military intervention.
Come, Blue Machine say into my studio. Hi, Blue Machines. How are you doing? Are you ready?
Hi Arnab, I'm Blue Machines. Excited to have a conversation.
And it's India's first man versus machine moment on national television. We've spoken about AI, 1 hour, one take. It's unedited. Arnab versus AI debate, 9 p.m. tonight. We're building up to that special broadcast. Who will win the man versus machine battle when the most fearless anchor of our times takes on the most advanced technology of our age? Stand by for the Arnab versus AI in a format never seen before on television. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of buzz around this actor called Vijay. Very popular in the South, but Vijay is now also a politician. One of the biggest stampedes of 2025 was in Karur, Tamil Nadu, when 41 lives were lost during an organization of an event that was marred with controversy because nobody knows whether the state failed or whether it was mismanagement on the part of Vijay, the actor. But the case has now gone to the CBI. Vijay, the actor, is in Delhi. He will be facing some questions. We have some details of what he will be asked in Delhi today. And the reason why this is significant is because the actor Vijay is, as per most pollsters, very popular in Tamil Nadu, likely to get over 20% of the vote share, may even decide who comes back to power in Tamil Nadu. Certainly not the DMK, looks like Vijay could be allying because he's primarily taking on the DMK. Will he go with Congress? Will he go with the BJP? Will he go with AIDMK? We don't know. But there are many questions on what went wrong in Karur last year. And the cameras have been focused on this actor called Vijay. He's in Delhi. Let's go across straight to my colleague Soumya, joining us from the CBI headquarters. She's live with us. Shavan, my colleague, is in the newsroom, has details of what the CBI will be asking Vijay. Soumya, why is the CBI questioning Vijay and what answers can he give, possibly different from what he already has in the last few months?
Well, right now, just 15 minutes back, we had Vijay's cavalcade arriving here and entering the CBI headquarters from that very gate. And now if we talk about, or the focus shifts to what CBI is seeking with regards to the questioning from Vijay, the simple aim of CBI here is to establish the accountability, to fix the accountability to ascertain on which level did the lapses actually take place. Was it at the level of the the local administration there in Karur? Was it at the level of the police officials there? Or was at the level of the party leaders who were actually behind organizing of this rally, which eventually turned into a deadly stampede, which led to 41 innocent lives lost, which had women, which had children, which had over hundreds of people severely injured. The conditions of the roads that very day was so bad because the roads were blocked in such a manner that the ambulances also could not reach there on time. Now, if we talk about the nature of questioning or the line of questioning by the CBI, of course, it's going to begin from the start as to why did Vijay reach the spot of the rally on that very day 7 hours late. His schedule of that very day will be, CBI will sort that information. Where was he? Why did he reach there very late? Was he informed that the crowd has swollen up significantly because where that very space where the rally was supposed to happen, it had a strength of holding around thousands of people. However, because of the delay, it scaled up into lakhs. So these are the line of questioning that is going to happen. As of now, we also have the information with regards to certain documents that CBI has accessed, certain footages, 20 hours of video footages that is being scanned by the CBI. CCTV footage of that very caravan that was used by actor turned politician Vijay on that very day is being scanned by the CBI as well. People have been questioned, people were summoned, they have been questioned, certain documents have been taken into consideration. So on all these lines, the questioning is expected in this very case.
Yeah, it's like a Tamil blockbuster, Shravan. I mean, you know, the shots, you look at the crowds even outside the CBI headquarters, the kind of media coverage for this story. Well, he's very popular, but what makes this extremely interesting is how the state government in Tamil Nadu has also been going after him. There's been, this bitter war of words. We were there. In fact, we were live in the studio, Shravan. You will remember that day when the stampede happened. He continued his speech even when the first, report came in that there was a stampede. He continued speaking. He didn't know what was going on. There was complete pandemonium. Police was there. Police was also completely clueless. It's a high-profile case given the elections that are around the corner. But, Shravan, when in Delhi, what will the CBI, look to get from him?
Well, first, to answer your question with regards to what really happens right now with the Central Bureau of Investigation really stepping in, it is based on a court order to begin with. In the last few days, over 6 people have already been questioned by the agency, which basically includes the district collector. What is it that they are looking at? One, whether at all the actor-turned-politician was essentially informed that the crowds had swelled from 10,000 to over 30,000, a little more than that, because the number seems to have, changed over a period of time, because there has also been questions about being raised about that. The fact of the matter is this, that if you go by the images that have been accessed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, which essentially shows that the modified caravan that was being used by the actor-turned-politician did actually move ahead, leading to a stampede-like situation to begin with. The second very important aspect is the warnings that were essentially given by the state administration. Were there warnings given or not? In fact, from the questioning that has happened so far, it seems that certain documents have been accessed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, which shows that the permission was basically sought for. But there is another big problem that emerges here: the timing of the rally itself. There was a considerable delay for the actor to really turn up and address his supporters, and it seems that the organizers were not really well prepared for it. The questioning that's going to take place today is largely going to focus on 2 aspects. One, with regards to the permission. Second, whether at all the actor-turned-politician was essentially informed about the change in the number of supporters who had come in, and whether at all the actor at any point of time did take the decision that he would still go ahead with the rally despite a lack of arrangements. Now, the political aspect is something that, Niranjan, you would be in a better position to put this into perspective, and that is essentially with regards to the war of words that have taken place between the DMK and Vijay. Vijay has, perhaps taken a step further by saying that literally the DMK is almost like an enemy for him. But having said that, remember, there have been political brickbats here, with the DMK essentially putting this entire onus on Vijay, saying that permissions were not taken on time. And the fact of the matter is that despite early warning being given to the actor, he continued with the rally. Now, these are some of the allegations that the DMK has levelled here. For the CBI, it would be essentially to prove whether at all the actor was in the know-how. Secondly, did the actor really take the decision despite the change in the number of supporters who had turned up? And third, why did he not withdraw if he was actually aware of the ground situation?
Yeah. Shravan and Soumya, thank you for joining us with those inputs. Whichever way it goes, Vijay being tipped as of now as one of the front runners for the election may just emerge as one of the bigger parties. Some pollsters giving him, predicting that he could get up to 20% of the vote share, which will be unprecedented if it really happens. Will that translate into reality in a few months from now? We'll wait and watch for that. Ladies and gentlemen, on the live report this Saturday, we brought you a scoop saying that Ajit Pawar, who is a part of the NDA, could merge with Sharad Pawar's faction. That is NCP, which is with Ajit Pawar, and NCP Sharad Pawar could reunite. We broke that story. Arnab brought the details saying it's all been worked out. It's just a matter of time when the announcement will happen. So Republic went back to Ajit Pawar and we did a very long interview, fairly detailed interview with him on Sunday. And we asked him that question: is there a possibility of an Ajit Pawar Sharad Pawar reunion? And we also asked him whether there is a possibility of Supriya Sule joining the centre, whether she will be given a ministerial berth in the cabinet at the centre. He was tight-lipped on that, but he did confirm to Republic that there is a merger that will likely happen after the elections in Maharashtra. So that's a confirmation, ladies and gentlemen. There is a big confirmation on Republic of the Pawar family reunion. And it completes the cycle, because in 2019, remember that time when Ajit Pawar took a secret oath with Fadnavis, nobody knew about it. And then Sharad Pawar came out of nowhere following the huge hue and cry and broke that government up, and he went with Uddhav Thackeray. And later, Ajit Pawar once again decided to break up and joined the NDA. Well, everyone's been saying that Sharad Pawar was the real brains and he always wanted to go with the NDA. That's coming a full circle now. Here's what Ajit Pawar said, confirming the merger. Sharad Pawar, will this be his final political stint joining the NDA at the centre? This is that interview.
एनसीपी शरद पवार गुट के साथ आपने यहाँ पे गठबंधन किया है, कैसा दिख रहा है? लोग का रिस्पांस कैसा आ रहा है साथ में आने के बाद?
वो वोटिंग होने के बाद पता चलेगा कि लोगों को कैसा लगा। हम तो आए हैं, हम साथ साथ काम कर रहे हैं, और रिजल्ट जब आएगा तब पता चलेगा।
क्या आखिर मजबूरी हो गई कि शरद पवार गुट के एनसीपी के साथ को आपको फिर से आना पड़ा?
हमारे दोनों का वोटों का बंटवारा न हो, दोनों साथ साथ रहे थे तो हमारे दोनों को कार्यकर्ताओं को मदद हो सकती है, दोनों पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को। अगर कार्यकर्ता ही नाराज होगा तो कैसा चलेगा?
आने वाले दिनों में तस्वीर कुछ और देखने को मिल सकता है कि जो पवार फैमिली है साथ में है।
अभी पहले हमारे सामने लोकल बॉडीज के चुनाव है, उसमें हम ज्यादा ध्यान दे रहे। वो चुनाव खत्म होने के बाद हम देखेंगे, अभी कोई उसके बारे में हमने सोचा नहीं।
लेकिन लोग कह रहे हैं कि अगर शरद पवार पार्टी और आप साथ में आ जाएंगे तो जो कार्यकर्ता है, नेता हैं, आप उनकी काफी इच्छा है।
मैंने कहा ना शर्मा जी, मैंने आपको बताया कि पहले हमारे लोकल बॉडीज के चुनाव में हम सभी ध्यान दे रहे, उसके लिए कार्यकर्ता कैसे उसको सक्सेस मिलेगी, ये हमारा काम चालू है। ये पहले ये तो खत्म होने दो, एक एक काम करके जाना चाहिए ना। पहला इसको फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी इसको है, वो काम चालू है।
मतलब पॉजिटिव का दौर शुरू है, मतलब सकारात्मक पॉजिटिव हो रहा है सब।
अभी मैंने कहा है कि हम ये अलग अलग सिटी की डेवलपमेंट अच्छी होनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल वहां करप्शन नहीं होना चाहिए, काम की क्वालिटी नंबर 1 की होनी चाहिए, आगे की 25-50 साल सोचकर डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, सभी को साथ लेके आगे जाना चाहिए। ये हमारी प्रथम जिम्मेवारी है और हम वो निभा रहे हैं।
लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये भी आ रहा है कि आप महाराष्ट्र संभालेंगे और सुप्रिया सुले जो केंद्र में जाएंगी, ऐसी भी बातें आ रही हैं कि
क्या है, ये मीडिया वालों अलग अलग सवाल उठाते हैं, वही चर्चा करते हैं, वही सवाल पूछते हैं। उनके मन में क्या चलता है ये उनका अधिकार है, मुझे उसके बारे में कुछ बोलना नहीं। ऐसे कोई बात हुई ही नहीं तो मैं क्यों उसके बारे में बताऊं।
ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि अप्रैल महीने में दोनों पार्टियां मर्ज हो जाएंगी, ये नगर पालिका चुनाव खत्म होने के बाद।
ये तो मुझे आपकी तरफ से सुनने को मिला, हमें दोनों को पता नहीं, आपको कैसा पता होगा, मुझे तो पता नहीं होगा।
लेकिन जो बातों में आ रहा है, बात करते से लग रहा है, आप कल मैनिफेस्टो में साथ में आए सुप्रिया सुले जी के साथ, मैनिफेस्टो देखा जा रहा है, जो आगे दिख रहा है, तस्वीरें दिख रही है, कहीं कहीं सकारात्मक बढ़ रहा है, दोनों तरफ से बढ़ रहा है कदम।
नहीं, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए हम साथ साथ आए हैं और साथ साथ चुनाव लोकल बॉडीज के लड़ रहे हैं। ये तो अभी हमने किया है, वो सबने देखा है।
उन्होंने कहा है कि कोई परिवार का जो विवाद तो है नहीं, ये राजनीतिक था। सुप्रिया सुले,
परिवार की बात है ही नहीं, हमारा सब परिवार एक ही है।
Ladies and gentlemen, artificial intelligence designed to think, and Republic Media Network editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami is designed to question. And tonight, those two forces meet head-on. For decades, Arnab has built his reputation on asking the questions that others usually avoid, on refusing to accept rehearsed answers, on pushing until clarity emerges. And now he brings that same approach to a machine that claims intelligence. This is not about technology hype. This is about testing AI in the harshest possible environment. Live television where interruptions happen, pressure builds and nothing can be edited out. And when human instinct collides with machine reasoning, sparks are inevitable. And the nation gets to watch it unfold in real time tonight, 9 p.m. Don't miss the man versus machine encounter, Arnab versus AI at 9 p.m. This is what you can expect. A small peek into behind the scenes of the making of that debate.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Hey guys,
Hey.
how's it going?
All good?
All systems check.
Yeah, all good.
Everything looks good. Okay.
Inside the Republic Production Control Room, the final checks are being conducted. This is no ordinary debate. There are no guests here, no windows. Producers and directors, technical crews are getting ready. They know it's not just a routine broadcast. This is Arnab versus AI. The Blue Machine's control room is set up. Screens light up, systems load, and engineers begin preparing the AI for a live television debate on India's most watched news show with India's most popular journalist.
So in this particular frame, we see all the concurrent calls. यहाँ पर latency देख रहे हैं. यहाँ पर I think we are seeing how the bot logs and all that are coming into the picture. So yeah, I think this is it.
The Blue Machines team and their dashboards track responses, processing and performance in real time. Machines will replace audio control and human intervention. There are no real people on Windows on this debate. There is only man versus machine.
This is the control room. Your team is going to be situated here. You are going to be monitoring our AI and the anchor. PGM will be given to you here.
Inside the Republic Production Control Room, the directors and producers work alongside the Blue Machines team, testing workflows before going live. We haven't done this before. They, like us, don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I think this data is something that will be important for us to see.
नहीं, I think see overall तो अभी I think 29,000 30,000 generally is our number.
Every feed is tested. Latency is discussed. Milliseconds matter in a live debate. Machine intervention with gigabyte memory will ensure the strongest arguments are made. Final checks and the blue machines is being prepped for the live broadcast conditions. As the Republic Media Network editor-in-chief arrives in the studio and begins his final preparation, tonight he won't just be questioning a politician or a newsmaker. He's questioning a machine.
This is totally optimized for us. Both of us are working with our thinking and our machines and our algorithms wide open.
This is where my guardrails came in.
This isn't just